Good day, viewers. Welcome back to the Preaching Humanist with David Oliverio. That is I. If you're a fellow atheist and you are tired of believers asking you, well, what do you believe in? You got to believe in something. Well, I've got something for you today. As a strong secular humanist and, of course, an atheist, there's a thing called the Humanist Manifesto. Humanist Manifesto 1 was written back in 1933 as a pushback toward, of course, the Communist Manifesto. And then in 1973, Humanist Manifesto 2, and the most current, 2003, Humanist Manifesto 3. Now, a manifesto is simply a public declaration of what we believe. It's a major consensus. Now, you don't have to believe in all this. You can disagree. It's not set in stone. It's not the Bible. It's not the Quran. It's not a religion. These are just some things that we most agree about. So let me go over part 1 and then part 2. Number 1, Humanist Manifesto. As a secular humanist, I and we believe that knowledge of the world, yes, the knowing the world, is derived by experimentation, observation, and rational analysis. We secular humanists believe that science, and there's that big S word, that dirty S word for many believers. We believe that science is the best method to know such things. It's not the only way to know things, but it's the best that we have. We can also know things through personal experience, through the arts, but these are all tested by consequences and experience. So we understand this concept. Now, science is not perfect. How many times do we have believers knock the scientific method? It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than religion. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than all the things in the Bible and pure biblical faith. Science is the best method. A smart guy by the name of Carl Sagan once said, "We have this method of distinguishing what is true and false, and to understand the world, which is called science, and it works very good. Until we evolve as a species past this beautiful method of science, it's the best thing we have." So number 1, we obtain knowledge of the world through the scientific method. We are science-based. Number 2, as a secular humanist, we believe that humans, Homo sapiens, are an integral part of nature. The result of unguided, notice I said unguided, evolutionary change. And there's the big evil E word we have of evolution. Now, it is a process. We understand the principles of evolution through natural selection. I am not here to explain the details of evolution and natural selection. We have books to explain that. We have scientists that are more knowledgeable than I am. When I'm out on the weekends with my activism, somebody wants me to give great details of natural selection and evolution. I point them to someone that can explain it better, or better yet, go to a library, read a book of science. It explains it there for you if you are open-minded. Sad to say, in the United States of America, currently in 2019, 46 to 48% of Americans continue to believe that we human beings were created in our present form 6 to 10,000 years ago. I have a permanent red mark on my forehead called a face palm. I can't believe it, but it's true. 46 to 48% of Americans still believe in creationism. 34 to 36% of Americans believe in the process of evolution, which is good, but don't get too excited. But they believe in intelligent design. In other words, God, their God, of course, their God, all the others are false, but their God guides evolution, right? And 16 to 20% of Americans actually believe the overwhelming consensus of real science, evolutionary biology, that it does not take a supernatural designer, the naturalistic worldview, which leaves 80 to 84% of Americans, sad to say, believe that a particular supernatural dude in the sky, man in the sky, is somehow involved in evolution. So we, number 2, believe in the big dirty E word, right? We believe in the process of evolution. Number 3, we as secular humanists in this beautiful thing called the Humanist Manifesto believe, now this is my favorite thing to talk about, because I've been known as a moralist from some people, even Christians, like, where do you get your morals and ethics? Number 3, we believe that ethical values are derived from, oh no, not the Bible, not the Quran, not from a God, but we believe that ethical values are derived from human need and human interest and tested by experience. We know that we have these interests and needs, and our values come from this. We can test what is right or wrong. We can test what is ethical and moral based on the consequences. And that's why morals, ethical values change. And that's why we, as science-based humanists and secular people and atheists, use science and evolution and an open, objective mind to know what is moral and what is ethical. A good definition of ethics is simply a set of behavioral guidelines aimed at maximizing cooperation and minimizing conflict. Also, another good definition would be ethics are a moral principles that govern an individual's behavior and conduct. And some of you say, I don't need these laws and rules. It sounds like religion. A lot of us know what right and wrong is. But there are still some people, we still need guidelines of what is right and wrong for particular individuals that may not understand this, because it protects us from those that don't understand morals and values. So let me recap. Humanist Manifesto, Part 1. We, as secular humanists, believe that we gain knowledge through the world, not through divine knowledge, not through a biblical or Quran or the Bible. We gain it through science, the understanding the world. Number 2, we believe in the method of science, and we believe in the overwhelming evidence of evolution. And number 3, we believe that ethical values and morals are derived from human need and human interest built into the human animal as a social species. All right. Well, thanks for watching the Preaching Humanist with David Oliverio. Stay tuned for Part 2, and we'll get into 3 other points from the Humanist Manifesto. Have a wonderful day.